Hello there. Today, in an effort to burn my subscriber count and weed out the squares, I'm going to be reviewing the blacksmithing in Thief: The Dark Project. Thief has got a very interesting implementation of metalwork. Let's watch. First, the hammerite operates a lever to close the mold. Then he stands awkwardly in the corner contemplating his life decisions. Then he very slowly makes his way over to the other lever and operates it, which tips the molten metal into the mold. Or rather, because the objects are misaligned, awkwardly spills the molten metal onto the corner of the mold. A meter on the wall nearby indicates when the mold is full, at which point the hammerite pulls the lever to stop pouring the metal into the mold. He then very slowly and awkwardly, because this is a 90s game, makes his way over to the first lever to open the mold once again. The mold opens, revealing a finished hammer, which the hammerite picks up and takes over to storage. If you go to the hassle of whacking the hammerites, the player too can operate the casting machinery. Later on, the game will utilize this mechanic for a simple puzzle. So, how realistic is all of this? Well, first off, the crucible isn't being heated by anything. I think the game means to imply that the molten metal pours into the ladle from a chute on the top. Whatever the case, the molten metal should not be sitting in the crucible for so long without a heat source. It'll cool and you won't be able to get it out. This is also the wrong type of mold. If you try to cast iron in an iron mold, the two will fuse and you're not going to be able to get your product out of the mold. The third problem is the hammer itself. You can make a fairly decent hammerhead out of cast iron, but the handle should not be iron. This will screw up the balance of the hammer and make the hammer excessively heavy. A cast iron handle is also going to be a weak spot. Cast iron is relatively brittle and needs a lot of mass if it's going to survive impacts. It works in the head, it's not going to work in the handle. So overall, this is a very poor representation of realistic metalwork. However, I think it's worth noting that this game does something which I don't think I've seen in any other game. Most games with a blacksmith will have the blacksmith do a little idle animation. Skyrim and Kingdom Come Deliverance, the blacksmith will work the bellows, pound on a bit of metal on the anvil, then quench it, and then repeat. They never get anywhere though, they'll just be pounding on that bar forever. This is the big advantage of Thief's representation. The metal workers in Thief are actually making something. I wonder how difficult it would be for an animator to rig it up so that the blacksmith in their video game goes through the whole process of making something simple like nails or hooks. Thank you for watching.